Good morning. It is the 1st of March, therefore it is the start of the Realmathon. I put together my TBR last night, so if you want to see what I'm planning on reading a bit more in depth, then I will leave a link to that video down below, and I will also leave a link to like the announcement video and the explanation video of what the Realmathon is, because I will do an extremely bad job of trying to explain it. Anyway, I haven't yet decided which book I'm going to start with. I don't think I've mentioned it on this channel, but I have recently started working towards a degree in English literature and creative writing, and I was 2 weeks ahead of my study, but the assessment week I just kind of put it off, and now I've not fallen behind, but I'm kind of like back on track. So I'm determined to spend this weekend just kind of cramming study so that I can try and get myself back ahead a little bit. Yeah, so I've told myself that I'm going to sit here for an hour now and study, then I can make some lunch, and then I'm going to pick the first book. Just finished the unit that I was working on, which I was hoping to do today but wasn't expecting to do, and I've had lunch. So now I am gonna reward myself with some reading time and decide which book to start with. These are all of the books that are on my TBR, and as you'll see, they are all physical books. I haven't got any Kindle books selected, but I will probably be reading on my Kindle as well. I just find for readathons, if I'm making a reading vlog, it's easier to have the physical book than the Kindle book, because you know, it's easier to tab these for any points that I want to talk about. I have put them in this order, in the order of prompts, but because this is my local book club pick, I kind of want to save this till last, because if I read it first, I'm going to forget what happens by the time book club comes around. So I think I'm going to start with Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score, because this is the oldest book on my TBR out of all of the ones that are here. And I did a poll on Instagram the other day, and this book won as my next read, and then I didn't read it. So this is going to be the first one. And if I am correct in the way that the points work, I will gain a total of 55 points for my team by reading this book. So I will get 40 points for the page count, 10 points because it hits the team prompt. I think the team prompt for this one was to read a book with your next book, boyfriend, girlfriend, or love interest. And I believe there's more than 2 POVs in this, because I know the first book did, so if that's correct I will get 2 points. And there are an even number of letters in the title, which will give me 4 points. So this is the, well, other than Hex, I think this is the biggest book that is on this TBR. So I'm gonna start off and get one of the longest books that I've been putting off for the longest, and hopefully it doesn't put me in a slump, but let's get started. I'm 3 chapters in, and at the start of this I was a little confused because I feel that it must have been following off from the first book, even though this follows different characters. And I read the first book like 2 years ago, but now I've read a couple of chapters, I'm kind of getting to grips with the storyline, even if I don't really remember what happened as such in the first book. And I do think there is potential for Nash be a new book boyfriend. Anyway, this book we are following Nash and Lena, so I'm just about to start chapter 4, and Nash is the police chief of Knockemout, and he was shot. Now this is in the past tense, this bit, so I'm assuming that happened in book 1, but I honestly don't remember that happening. And he is trying to recover from it, but it's not really working. And then the heroine Lena is his brother's ex-girlfriend, and she is having to move in next door to him, and it's given like Grumpy Sunshine, which I absolutely love. And I was looking at some Goodreads reviews before I started reading it, and a lot of people said they were disappointed by this one, but honestly, I'm liking the start of it. It is Sunday, so yesterday I managed to read up to page 100, which that's so satisfying when it's like an even number like that. So I'm up to chapter 9 and I'm still really liking this. I am a bit concerned by the length of it, that it is going to drag on a bit too much because the characters have got annoyed at each other, and I really hope we don't have like hundreds of pages of them just like snapping at each other. But anyway, the plan for today, I'm about to go for a walk, and then when I get back I'm going to do some more reading, and I may try and do some more studying this afternoon as well. I am now back ahead after the unit I completed yesterday, but I just think it'd be really good if I could get even more ahead, because I just stress out about it so much, and if I'm stressing about something I put it off. So when it gets to like the assessment weeks, I will be ahead, but then by the time the assessment week is over, I'll be back on track because I've stressed over it so much. It's taken me so long to complete. So I do get my feedback on my first essay assignment on Tuesday. I think the deadline's Tuesday, so it may be a few days after that. So yeah, I'm feeling a bit nervous about that. So again, to take my mind off it, we're just gonna keep reading, and whatever happens with that assignment, I'll deal with it then. I also just realised, so I've got a pink hoodie, a pink book, and I've got my light pink Converse on. Fully got the Bookish vibe on today with an all matching outfit. It has just gone 1:15 and I've just got back from a walk. We did 5.3 miles. The goal today was to do 3 miles, so I'm very glad that we managed to do 5. No plans for the rest of the afternoon. I was going to study, but I'm not really in the mood for it, so I'm going to start off with reading. And then Jamie usually gets home about 6, so I've just got a few hours of chill time now. It is Monday the 3rd, and this is just going to be a quick reading update, so I'm not going to show my face today. Yesterday it was really weird. Like, I was fine, we went out on my walk, I was feeling great, and then sort of like 10 minutes after I filmed that last little bit yesterday, I was really ill. I'm feeling a bit better today. I've still got quite a bad headache, so I'm just taking it slow. I'm having a day on the sofa in my pyjamas, and I'm going to do some more reading. So I'm up to chapter 23, and I'm having some mixed feelings on this. So the events in this book continue straight on from the events in the first book, and I read that way over a year ago, so I don't fully remember. Like, as I'm reading, pieces of it are coming back to me, but I think it's lost some of its impact because I don't fully remember the big showdown and drama that happened at the end of the first book. And I'm liking it, but it's so long. Like, I think I'm almost halfway through now, but I'm kind of wanting to read something else. I feel that this is going to put me in a slump, and I don't want to pick something else up. Like, I just want to focus on this one and finish it. But yeah, like, I'm not disliking it, but I'm not obsessed with it. So yeah, we shall see. I definitely don't think I'm going to finish this today, but I do need to pick up on my reading because I'm starting to panic that I'm not going to finish all the books on my TBR. So there, I'm on page 253. Good morning. It is Tuesday the 4th of March. I'm feeling a little better today. I'm still not 100%. Please excuse the fact I'm still wearing a snuggie. I've just been really cold. I don't want to push myself today. I was hoping to have gone to the gym yesterday, but obviously I missed that, so I was planning on going on a walk today, but I don't want to push myself too much. So I'm just going to have another home day. I am about to have a bath. I think if I just have myself a little pamper this morning and try and relax, that might help. And then I'm going to try and do some more studying. But a reading update, I read quite a bit yesterday. Our internet went off, so I didn't really have that much to do. So I actually read to page 400, which is halfway through a chapter, and that was only because the sun was starting to set and I was running out of daylight, and I honestly could not be bothered to move to turn the lights on. Yeah, feeling a bit better. I woke up this morning and I was coughing a lot, but I took some cough medicine and it seems to have cleared me up a bit. So after I've had my little pamper, I'm going to take some more, just keep on top of that, and then hopefully tomorrow, my plan was to go to the gym again tomorrow, but maybe I'll do a walk instead because that's a bit less strenuous. But yeah, that's my update. I feel like these reading vlogs always end up failing somehow. I definitely feel a little bit better after having a little bit of a pamper, so I'm gonna go back to reading. I'm hopeful to try and finish this today, but we'll see. Okay, so reading update. I feel like I'm reading and not getting anywhere. So this morning I started on page 400 and I'm now on page 442, and I just feel like I'm not getting anywhere with this, and I feel like I can't really explain or talk about what's going on because, like, the main plot line that our characters Lena and Nash are investigating is like a follow-on from what happened at the end of book 1. So if you haven't read book 1, it would spoil it for you, and you definitely would need to have read book 1 for this to have made sense. I just feel the length of it is just kind of ruining it for me. Like, there was a 3-line description of her changing her earrings, and I just was thinking, like, it didn't need so many words to say that. And I wouldn't necessarily say that there's like stuff in here that's not needed, but I don't know, like for me, I typically don't read romances that are like over 400 pages. I prefer a longer book for a fantasy and a shorter book for a romance. Yeah, it just feels like there's a lot going on but not a lot going on at the same time, and that I've got over 100 pages left still, and I don't know what the resolution of this is going to be, which I guess is good because I can't really guess what's going to happen next, but I'm just at the point now where I just want to finish this, and I honestly don't know what I'm going to rate this. I'm on the last 100 pages. I am determined to finish this book in this sitting, but I wouldn't say it's the conclusion, but kind of like the big dramatic thing that's happening at the end is like extremely similar to book 1. And I'm feeling a little disappointed with that because although obviously like the characters are different and kind of the main plot of it, it's like the same kind of ending. So we'll see how it wraps up. Hopefully it won't be exactly the same, but yeah, I don't know. I still don't know how I'm feeling about this. I have just finished Things We Hide from the Light, and I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. I'm still really unsure on it. Like, it definitely wasn't a 5-star for me, and 3-star feels too low. The bonus epilogue is kind of a spoiler for the next book. Like, the next book follows Lucian and Sloane, and I'm honestly really looking forward to that one because I think it's going to be a romance that I'm really going to enjoy. But obviously, like, when you read a romance, you know the 2 characters are going to end up together, but I was just like, wow, that kind of spoiled that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've read a nearly 600-page romance. I think it's 573 pages. And I don't know how to describe it or what I thought about it. I think I can see what a lot of people are saying when they say they didn't enjoy this one as much as the first, because I definitely didn't, but I am really, really looking forward to the next one, and I'm assuming because this one continued kind of straight on from the first, that the next book will continue on from this one. But yeah, it was okay. I think it was just like the length of it that kind of ruined it for me, because I was just kind of getting a bit bored, not because the story was boring. But I'm glad that's a book that is finally off my TBR, because it's been on there for way too long. I don't know if this is one that I would ever reread, but I think I am gonna keep it on my shelves as a trophy because it was chunky. But obviously the prompt for this one was to read a book with your next book boyfriend in, and I wouldn't say that Nash is one of my favourite book boyfriends, but I definitely say he could be a contender for a book boyfriend, because I did really like him as a character, and I think he was my favourite character. I did like Lena, but I don't know, there was just something about this that I'm not sure about, but I don't know what that was. But like, if you've read this, what did you think? Did you kind of feel not let down, but did you enjoy the first one more? And if you read the whole like series, is the third one better than the first? Because I think the first one is quite hard to beat, but I'm really like, it sounds weird to have like not loved a book but be really excited for the next one in the series. It's just, I think Lucian and Sloane are going to be like my favourite characters, although I did love Knox and Naomi. So yeah, on to the next book. Back to the TBR then. So I was going to read them in order. So the next one would be The Goal by Elle Kennedy. But this is another book that I've been putting off, and because that was such a long romance, I kind of want to move to a fantasy, although it's going to bug me going out of order. But I think if I read another romance, it's definitely going to put me in a slump, especially one that I've been putting off. So I think I'm going to move to the first fantasy on the list, and that is The Starlight Heir. I don't know how much of this I'm going to read tonight, if any, and this is for the prompt to read a special edition. So this is a Fairy Loot edition. Unfortunately, I don't quite know what happened with the dust jacket on this one when it arrived, but this is what it looks like. And yeah, this is like some really gorgeous artwork, and it is signed as well. I'm not too sure what to expect with this one. I've not really heard many reviews, but I'm in the mood for a good fantasy, so I'm hoping this is going to stop me from getting into a slump. It is Wednesday the 5th of March, and I am still not feeling 100%. And the last few mornings I've been waking up around like 4 a.m. and just being awake for a couple of hours and then going back to sleep. So I didn't really do much this morning, and then around lunchtime Jamie and I went round to the shops to get some food in and some stuff for dinner. So I haven't really done a ton of reading, but I have started reading The Starlight Heir, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. The first kind of like chapter didn't really grip me, but the premise does sound like something I'm gonna like, so I am gonna give it a bit more of a go. But essentially we have the female main character, I cannot remember her name, but it does start with an S, and she lives in this like kingdom, and the king, or the prince, I think it's the prince, is looking for a bride. So they've sent out 100 invites to girls, women in this land, and they're all going to like compete. Now I don't know if they're like competing in actual challenges against each other to win the heart of the prince, or if he's just gonna like pick someone. But there's also a bit of mystery where I think it was like her dad and I think it was her auntie, she overheard a conversation between them and they don't want her to go forward for this task thing. And like that has intrigued me, like I do want to know what it is, but I don't know, I'm just like not fully invested. And I feel like when I'm doing a readathon, I just want to be loving the books that I am reading, because I have like a longer TBR and I have other books that I can read for the prompt that I was reading this for. So yeah, I'm going to give it another couple of chapters, at least until she has met this prince, and I'm assuming we're not going to find out like the secret as to why her family don't want her going until a lot later on in the book. So hopefully it's going to capture my attention enough before that point that I will get to finish it. But yeah, it's just not sucked me in, but I'm hoping that it is going to pick up a bit. Reading update for, what day is it? Thursday the 6th of March. Obviously I'm still reading the Starlight Air. I think I'm on chapter 8 and it has kicked in a little bit. I'm liking it more than I was when I started it. In my main character, she is now at the palace and there are trials that all of these girls have to go through to win the hand of the prince, and I think the love interest has been introduced and it's not who I thought it was going to be, and I'm really liking it, who it is. I don't want to say anything because I don't know if it's like really a spoiler or not. Yeah, her best friend at the start kind of annoyed me, and that's one of the reasons why I was kind of put off it, just the way she was. But yeah, don't think I'm going to finish this today. But my partner Jamie has the day off today and he is a lucky person, okay, and he seems to win a lot of competitions that he enters, so I need to get him to start entering like bookish competitions, see if he can win me some books. But basically the other day he won a 3D printer and it is being delivered today, and it's coming with like a little bit of filament, but we don't know how much. But we've spent the last couple of nights researching things to like make. I've seen you can make like bookmarks, bookends, Kindle stands, so I'm definitely going to be having some fun with it too. But yeah, that is due to arrive within the next hour if the delivery times are correct. So we're going to be having a bit of a play around with that this afternoon and see what we can make. We don't have much of like the filament, so we won't be able to make a ton of things just yet, but I'm kind of excited. It is Friday the 7th of March, so reading morning update, still on the Starlight Air. I'm up to page 202, which is chapter 18, and I'm actually hooked on this. I'm enjoying it so much more than I thought it would, and it's not following like the storyline that I thought it would, so I think that's why it's keeping me engaged, because it's not what I expected, and I'm really glad about that, because I don't know, I just kind of went into it thinking that it wasn't going to be something for me, and because I wasn't gripped within the first chapter or so, I was like, well, I was right on that. But the more I've read, the more I'm really liking it. I don't know if it's quite a 5-star. I think it's definitely a solid 4.5, but there's about 150 pages left, so I'm determined to finish it today. And as you would have seen last night, we did some 3D printing once the printer arrived, and this was my creation. I made a little green dragon, and it has like a knitted effect, and with the printer we've got, you can use multiple colours on different things, but we've only got 2 colours at the minute, so I'm going to paint his eyes black so they stand out a little bit more. But he is so cute. I'm thinking of maybe selling some, not necessarily just dragons, but in the last couple of weeks I've been thinking about setting up like an online bookstore kind of thing with blind dates of books, bookmarks, and now we have this 3D printer. I was thinking of making like some bookshelf buddies, different animals, and we also made a bookmark last night for one of Jamie's colleagues, and I've seen you can make bookends, book nooks, like jars to put your bookmarks in. I saw a plant pot that was like books piled up, and yeah, I'm going to see how they all come out first, but I'm going to see. A few people replied to me when I posted it on Instagram saying they really liked it. Yeah, we have, I think there's another package arriving today for it. I don't know why it was sent out in 2. We weren't expecting a second package with this giveaway, but there's another one coming, so we're hoping it might be some more colours to test out, because we only have green and orange at the minute. But yes, sorry, I have to get on with this quick because I am about to go to the gym. I haven't been in a week where I haven't been feeling great. I've managed to sleep last night properly, so I'm going to take it easy today, but last Friday I did a post on Instagram on my story about how much I'd improved in the gym and how I'd like got up on all of my weights and had doubled all my times, and then I got sick, and now I know today I'm going to go in and I am going to be really bad and probably do the worst session I've ever done. But the longer I sit away from the gym, the harder it is to go back. So I'm getting myself in there today, even if I don't do the best workout ever. I'm going to go with it because I'm starting to feel a bit better in myself, aside from the illness this week. But I've also cut out fizzy drinks and I just feel a lot less bloated, and I don't know, I feel like maybe I am starting to feel the results even if I'm not necessarily seeing them. So I want to keep going, and I'm just really motivated at the minute because I'm getting married next year, so I have to go dress shopping soon, and I'm just, not that you have to lose weight to get married, but I just want to be looking my best on my wedding day. So I started now so that I can hopefully not have an anxiety panic attack when I go dress shopping, because I'm really nervous about that because of my body. I never show my body any further down on camera or on photos because I'm just not embarrassed by it. I'm just not happy or comfortable. So yes, I have to get back into the swing of the gym. But that's my only plans for the today is gym. I probably need to study a little bit, but I want to try and finish the Starlight Air as my main priority, which I know probably shouldn't be the main priority, but I'm really liking the book, and if I get myself in the gym today, I think I deserve a reward after. So that's going to be reading. From the gym, and we also popped to the range after as well, and then popped into Lidl. And whilst I was in the range, I found this cowboy blanket. It was $4.99 and I couldn't leave it behind. I don't actually know what it looks like because they only had them like rolled up, but I just saw the label saying cowboy and it had pink on it. So oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. It's actually bigger than I thought it was going to be. I can't show the whole thing, but yeah, it has cowboy boots, disco balls, cherry cowboy hats. Like, this is so cute. So yeah, I was out longer than I thought I was going to be, and I did better at the gym than I thought I was going to as well. I actually did 35 minutes on the treadmill, and I've usually been doing 20 on an incline, but I just stayed flat today and I managed to do 35, and I could have done a bit more, but I was like, don't push yourself. And then I managed to do a bit more than I usually would anyway. So even with being ill and having some time off, I didn't lose as much as I thought I was going to. So that was good. I was going to come home and study, but I'm still not in the mood for it. So I think I should have like a little tidy up of the house, have some lunch, and then see how I feel. I don't even know what the time is. I think it's like 2 o'clock. But I'm also trying to work on a giveaway. I have this Art of Dark Restraint by Katie Robert that I was given at a Bookish event last year, and I'm not huge on retellings or Greek mythology, and this is a Greek mythology retelling, and I've read a couple of books by Katie Robert and I just haven't loved them, and it's just kind of sat on my shelf. And I reached 2,000 followers on Instagram and I reached 4,000 followers on TikTok, so I thought, well, why not give away this ARC? And it actually has character art. I don't like open it too much because I don't want to destroy the cover before I give it away, but yeah, I'm gonna do the giveaway via my Instagram. It might be over by the time this video goes up, depending on when I put the post up, but yeah, I just thought it might be fun to do a giveaway. So I will leave my Instagram, it's always like in the description down below, so this may not be up then, it may still be up, but yeah, if you're ever interested, that is down below. But yeah, I feel a lot better now. I've been out and done some exercise, and it's kind of motivated me to, you know, get sorted. So I am gonna get tidier. I have just finished the Starlight Air, and do you know what? I absolutely loved this. I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars. In this we have Soraya, and she at the start of the book is just like an ordinary girl living in this kingdom, and it turns out that she's not so ordinary, and she receives an invite from the king, as he has sent out 100 invites to women in the kingdom because he wants to find his future wife. So she goes to the palace and they enter trials, and I think that's kind of all I'd said up to the last kind of reading update as such. And yeah, I thought the book was going to be these trials and that she was going to fall in love with the king, but it was not that at all. So I was completely caught off guard because it just was not what I expected it to be, and because of that I just really liked it. I liked the characters, I liked the drama, I think it was really well written, and it felt kind of different to a lot of other romanticies that I have read. Like, there wasn't a ton of smut in it, which I personally like. I think there was only maybe like 2 or max of 3 smut scenes, and they weren't particularly like long or detailed. So if you want a romantasy that isn't smut heavy, I would definitely recommend this. And just considering I thought this was going to be a book that I wasn't gonna like, I'm just so happy, and it's just put me in such a good mood. And I felt like I was gonna go into a slump after finishing Things We Hide from the Light, but honestly this has just made me excited to read. There is a second book that the story continues in, and I'm not sure if it's out yet or not, so I'm gonna have to search that up, but I don't think I've shown you like the inside of this. And then I think this is my favourite of the character arts, and like it's got the gold foiling, and yeah, I love it. This, I don't necessarily love the cover of this, but I do love the artwork inside. But it is coming up for 6 o'clock now, and the other parcel arrived for the 3D printer, and it had some more filament colours in there, and I messaged Jamie and I opened it earlier, and it had black, white, blue and red, and then we obviously already had green and orange. So I think tonight we're going to do some more 3D printing. I was looking at making Baymax or cinema rolls, and now we have white. I can do that, or I've been looking at some really cute like Easter bunnies. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling positive today, and yeah, now it's time to pick the next book. I think I know what I'm going to go for. I think I'm going to read The Goal by Elle Kennedy. This is the 4th book in the, is it the Briar You series? Oh no, this one's Off Campus, the other one's the Briar You series, and this is another one that I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it, because accidental pregnancy, which is something that I don't really like to read about, but because I like Elle Kennedy and I like hockey romances, I'm hoping that despite it being a trope that I don't particularly love, I'm hoping that I will still like the story. And like the Starlight Air, this is one that I don't think I'm going to like, and because I ended up loving this, I'm like, am I going to get 2 in a row where it's a trope that I don't necessarily like but will end up loving? Because I hated fake dating, but the last couple of fake datings I've picked up, because they've been by authors I like, I ended up liking them even though I hate the trope. So there's like mixed expectations going into this. I don't know how much of it I am going to get read tonight, because today will be the last kind of day for this week's reading vlog, which is crazy. It's been a week already since Realmathon started, and I was hoping to have read more than 2 books by this point, but I'm not going to be too hard on myself because I was sick. And yeah, so I'm just trying to decide which bookmark I want to use. I like to try and match my bookmark to the book, so we've got a blue, purple and yellowy kind of cover, so I'm just trying to see what I have that matches. I have like 2 things of bookmarks, and this one is mostly like that match books, if that makes sense. So I have like a Quicksilver one, I have some Akatar ones, and then this is more like general cutesy kind of bookmarks. So what have I got that matches? I think I'm gonna go with this one because I've not actually used this bookmark before, but it's like a wooden one that says Once Upon a Time, and the wood kind of matches, well, it doesn't really, but you get the vibe. Anyway, I am maybe going to see if I can read a chapter before Jamie gets home, because then I will be doing some dinner. But I will show you if we print anything else on the printer tonight, if you're interested. And I am going to try and remember to end the vlog later. I did not finish the vlog last night, as I thought I probably would forget, but we did some more 3D printing. I made this sign that says Fantasy Avenue for my bookshelf. I'm going to make a few others. There was like another template that was like Romance Street or something, so I was going to print out like a few different genre signs and then put them on the shelves that match. But other than that, that was basically all we did last night. I read the first 3 chapters of The Goal and I'm really liking it so far. But I'm glad it has hooked me, because again, I've said before that I wasn't sure if I was going to like this one, but I am liking it to start, which, you know, is a good thing. But I am going to end this vlog here so I can start week 2. I think this is probably one of the longest vlogs I've ever uploaded on this channel, so I hope it wasn't too boring. But hopefully, now I'm kind of over the sickness, these vlogs may get a little more exciting. But if you've watched it to the end, thank you so much for sticking with it. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you again next week with another video.